This episode of B-Ball Breakdown is brought to you by Ectio, doctor-invented and clinically tested for maximum ankle support. Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. Before we go through the Phoenix Suns versus Golden State Warriors game from last night, I did want to mention that if you want to play fantasy, get over to draftstreet.com. They have a great daily fantasy league. I tried it last week and didn't do so well, but who knew that Ty Lawson wouldn't do that great in that game on Friday. So, let's focus in on Phoenix versus Golden State. A very interesting game, and Phoenix has been very surprising with both offense and defense, Bledsoe in particular. And I want you to watch how they're attacking the ice defense that the Warriors play based on what the Bulls and the Pacers do. I'm really interested to see what happens when the Suns play the Bulls and the Pacers because they have some elements that could completely blow up ice defense. Channing Frye did a lot of his damage from the three-point line. On this simple high screen and roll, the Warriors ice it, forcing Bledsoe away from the screen. David Lee is supposed to be containing him, but instead comes up too high, then lets Bledsoe blow right by him. Klay Thompson needs to be rotating from the weak side a lot faster. However, had that happened, Dragic would have hit this shot from the short corner three. On this sideline screen and roll, the Warriors play ice again, forcing the ball handler baseline, but encounter their worst nightmare, a screener that can pick and pop to the three-point line. Harrison Barnes even recognizes this and tries to wave a hand, but he's stuck guarding nobody, and the Suns have their pick of great shots. On this double ball screen, David Lee gets confused as to who he's guarding, which is incredible to think about since he's leaving Channing Frye all alone on the perimeter. In the open court, you had better pay attention to where Eric Bledsoe is because that's where he's most deadly. Look at this bloody awful effort by David Lee to help out, especially because his man hadn't even gotten into the frame yet. The Suns run a modified loop for Dragic coming across the court, but what I like is that when it's well defended, their offense has a flow and another option. A gorgeous pinch post action where Bledsoe attacks ice again, crossing over David Lee, who reaches in like a silly person. The Suns also use the high post split and again have good flow when they swing it to Bledsoe for a pick and roll where he can pull up and hit the jumper. Just look at Bledsoe's improvement from last year in his jump shooting. This is remarkable and the main reason for his scoring explosion. Dragic got into the three-ball act by taking advantage of a badly executed attempt at zone defense by the Warriors. Nobody seems very sure who goes where on this, and when Klay switches off his original man, Dragic can take his time and knock it down. And if he lets Harrison Barnes fly by, he can give it to a wide-open Tucker in the corner who's shooting 47% from three. One of the solutions to ice is to let the point guard attack the big man who is sagging. Dragic executes a perfect Euro step and embarrasses Bogut in the process. This game was essentially decided by a 7-1 run in the middle of the fourth quarter, and here's a nice pick and roll with Klay screening for Curry, a very difficult proposition for a defense. They even have Draymond Green screening to stop rotation and get Klay a wide open three, but he can't knock it down. David Lee gets stuck on the wrong side of ice here, allowing such deep penetration that the matchups get all screwy for the Warriors. Lee is forced to guard Dragic, but it just walks away from his help duties. Barnes comes over on a great help, gets away with a foul. Bledsoe jumps off the wrong foot anyway, but the Suns get the ball out of bounds. Here's a good example of why you shouldn't allow middle penetration. Klay tries his best to force Dragic to the baseline, but is forced to foul once Dragic gets into the lane. Here was a strange call. The Warriors brought three of their players to the left side, then ran the pick and roll to the same side. The only reason you do this is to clear a side for one of your best shooters. While Draymond Green has been solid, I don't think you call a play for him down two deep into the fourth quarter. While letting Bledsoe shoot threes isn't the worst idea since he's average this year, at this juncture of the game, you can't give the other team anything. Yet Steph Curry goes under the screen, David Lee is slightly indecisive, and Bledsoe can set himself before hitting this tough three. So there you have it, sports fans. These games can hinge on one or two plays, especially when these teams are pretty well matched up. And so if you have a 7-1 run in the fourth quarter like that, even though the Warriors made it close again, it was enough of a deficit for them they couldn't recover. Well, thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for lots more. If you want to do some fantasy, get on to draftstreet.com and play their daily fantasy stuff because it's free to sign up and you can win some money. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and our brand new website has lots of great content there, so make sure you visit there every day. And don't forget, at B-Ball Breakdown, we're not a channel, we're a conversation. You in?